Hello everybody. This video is about Romberg method for numerical integration. I'll be talking mainly about calculator tricks. How do you use calculator to find Romberg integration? So first I just give a brief discussion. What does basically the Romberg integration do? So in basic procedure for Romberg integration is, if you want to estimate this integral f of x from a to b, so we will be using composite trapezoidal rule with n equals 1, 2, 4, 8 and 16, right, and representing those results by I11, I12, I13 and so on, which will be defined in the following way. If we set h dash is equal to b minus a, then we first find I11, which is 1 by 2 f naught plus fn. If we consider only one interval in case of trapezoidal rule, so that is 1 by 2 f naught plus fn, and then we simply multiply that by h dash to get t11, right? So you see h dash is b minus a. If you are taking one interval, in that case you'll be dividing h by 1, so we have h dash by 1 here. Then you find I12 is found as I11 plus including the intermediate point, that is a plus h dash by 2, and corresponding t12 will be h dash by 2, because now we are having two intervals, so this h will become b minus a divided by 2. We are taking h dash as b minus a, which means h will be b minus a divided by n in this case is 2. Then we find I13, which is I12, this value, plus including two more points, the midpoints of each interval we have taken in n equal to 2. So we'll be having now 4 intervals, because 2 intervals are coming in I12 and 2 intervals here, so we'll be having 4 intervals. So we have T13, that is h dash by 4 I13. Then we go for I14, which is again introducing or including 4 more points in the interval, just to make it 8 intervals. In this case n will be 8, and then we find corresponding T14, which will be h dash by 8, and then I14. Because we are having 8 intervals, these 4 intervals are included with a new step, whereas 4 intervals are included in I13. And so on. If you want to go for 16 iterations, we need to add 8 more in points here, okay, and so on, right? Now what are the Romberg steps? This is basically the it was repeated trapezoidal or composite trapezoidal. Now we talk about Romberg integration. How do we do that? It will be having T11, T12, T13, T14, which are obviously of order h, and then we have, this is order h square, and then h4, and this is order h6, and so on. So you see that we will be using these two together to find the value of T22, just to improve the results. So it is the combination of these two. How do we get that? The formula is T22 equals T12 plus 1 by 3 T12 minus T11, right? The second one is T23, where T23 is a combination of these two. If we simplify this, I'll be using this later on in calculator. I'm not going to use this formula. I'll be using a simplified formula. If we simplify this one by taking LCM of it, it could be written in the form, you say 3T13 plus T13, that will give you 4 T13 minus T12 divided by T13. This is T13, sorry, this is T12 divided by T12 divided by 3, sorry, it's just 3. Okay, the same thing for the first one as well. We could express that as T22 that would be simplified as 4 times T12 minus T11 divided by 3, and so on. The same thing will be for T14 as well. If you go for T14, that will be T24, sorry, that will be 4 times T14 minus T13, if you simplify this by taking LCM. And then if you say move to the third stage, T33, which is given by T23 plus 1 by 15 T23 minus T22, and if we simplify this, it will become what? T33, it could be written in the form, if we simplify by taking LCM, it will be 15 T23 plus 1, so that becomes 16 T23 minus T22. Minus T22. The same thing for other values as well, so and so on. So we can simplify them in this form. I'm going to use these formulas in calculator rather than these formulas. Okay, so the next one will be T34, which is given by this one, T24. Again, if you take LCM of this, you will simply get 15 T24 plus 1 T24, that will become 16 T24 minus T23 divided by 15. For the last one, the fourth stage, will be getting what? T44. It will be T34, so this is a mistake, it is not 1 by 3, this is 1 by 2 power k minus 4 power k minus 1, so this is 63 basically, it's not 3. So we'll be having what? That is 63 plus 1, 64, so we get 64 T34 minus T33 divided by 63. Okay, and so on. Generally we can have, again it's a mistake, let me correct this. So we are having, this is 1 over 63, and this one is, as I said, is 4 power j minus 1. Okay, so let's do this example stepwise. See, we are having integral from 0 to pi sine x dx. If you want to use this Romberg integration, so in this case we see h dash will be b minus a, and you see b is pi, whereas a is 0, so we get pi minus 0, that is pi, right? And in this case f of x is what? That is sine x. So we do what? We would first find I11, so that is 1 by 2 f of a plus f of b. A is 0, whereas b is pi, so we get 1 over 2 sine 0 plus sine pi. Sine 0 is 0, sine pi is also 0, that give you 0. So we have T11, which is h dash I11, so if I11 is 0, it means this quantity is 0. Now we will be finding what? Now we find I12. So I12, that will be I11 plus, and we'll be taking the midpoint of these two values for 0 and pi, which is pi by 2, so we'll be adding sine pi by 2 to it. That sine pi by 2, we'll be simply adding this value to it, and whatever you got is simply we'll be having then T12, which will become h dash by 2, because now we are having two intervals, h dash by 2, and then we have I12. right? And then we find I13. So I13 can be simply found as I12 plus, we'll be including two more points, that is sine pi by 4 and sine 3 pi by 4. Okay, so I think it's simple. We'll be including one stepwise. We're adding some intervals, and then we take we will finding T13. So T13 will be simply h dash divided by, now we are having 4 intervals, so h dash by 4, and we have I13. And then if you want to find I14, so I14, that would be I13 plus, now I'll be adding 4 more values, that is sine pi by 8 plus sine 3 pi by 8 plus sine 5 pi by 8 and then we add another one, that is sine 7 pi by 8. And then we have, as I've done earlier, I'll be having simply T14 which will be h dash by 8 we have I14. Right, so now we move to the second stage. These are the values, they're all first stage, which could be obviously found by using calculator. I'm doing that in a while, so I'm not simplifying them here. So let's move towards the next stage, stage 2. If I find the values so I'll be finding now IT2, no, T22, sorry, it's not IT2. I'll be finding T22 what I'm doing. Okay, so T22, as I said earlier, I'll be taking that as 4 times T12 minus T11, and then we divide that by 3. Dividing this by 3, right? Similarly, if I find T23, that will be 4 times T13 minus T12 divided by 3. And then we'll be finding T24 as well, which will be almost the same thing, just replacing with the 4 T14 So t underscore 12324, sorry, which is again t14 4 times t14 minus t13 divided by 3. Right, and similarly we can find the other values as well. If I want to find t33 now, t33, so that is what the multiple will be now changed. It will multiply that with instead of 4, I'll multiply by 16, and I'll be taking t23 minus t22 divided by 15. And then we will be finding t34, which will be equal to 16 times now t24 minus t23 divided by 15. And then we will be finding t44, which is now 64 times t34 minus t33 divided by 63. Okay, and I will stopping obviously at this point because the values will start repeating. So I'm doing this with calculator now, and I'll show what is the value of this integration now. Okay, let's introduce some notations here. The first notation is what I'm going to use a for my t11. Okay, I'll be using x for my sine x. I'm just calling it x, whatever you call it, it's up to you. I'm going to call it this x in calculator. I'm going to call this one as my y. Okay, then I'll be calling this t11 as my a. I'll just call this one as a. I'll be calling this one as my b, whereas the sine pi by 2 as a whole, I'll be calling that as my f. My f will be sine pi by 2. I'll be calling this one as my c. Okay, I'll be calling this complete term as my e, sine pi by 4, and so on. I'll be calling this one as e just to make it simple, and I'll be calling this one as my d, sorry, this one is my d. Yeah, just missed b, so I'll call this one as b, this one is c. Okay, and then I'll be calling this complete term from here to here as my f. This complete term will be taken as f, and then I'll call this one as my d. It's up to you, whatever or whichever method you are using, it's up to you. Okay, so you should note this thing. I am calling sine 0 to be x, this is to be y, this is my a, this is f, because I'll be adding this quantity to this I11 to a, and so on. right? So how would I do that? So simply say that I'll finding first a, which will be simply x plus y divided by 2, and the next step I'll be taking b. So b is equal to what? So that will be simply f, adding f to this a, okay, and then I'll be calling this one as c. So c is equal to b plus e, and then I'll be taking d, that is equal to uh, c plus f, and then I'll be finding these quantities as a equals pi I11, because my h dash will be pi, this will be pi by 6 I1 b, and pi by 4 c, and this will be taken as pi by 4 d. So let's do that as I said. So first step I'll be introducing a first. So my a is equal to, that is simply x plus y divided by 2. I may use this symbol. So it is x, then plus y, and then I'll be taking divided by 2. And obviously when I execute this, it will ask the value of x and y, which will be the initial value of the function. Right, so the next step is what? That I'll be going to the towards b. Okay, so b is what? B equals and I'll be taking a back plus adding this term which is called as f. So I'll simple add f to it, and then I'll do this one, then I go for c, next one is c. So c equals we are adding b to it, so b plus this complete quantity, keeping in mind that e will be these two terms. So b plus okay, that is b plus e. This is my e, and then we find d. Okay, so next one is d, where d equals, again I'll take c plus this whole term, which we could we would have called that as m, because you just repeat the value f, it's m. This quantity, the complete quantity, is called m. So I'll be simply adding m to it, keeping in mind that m would mean sine pi by 8, sine 3 pi by 8 plus sine 5 pi by 8, the sum of all these quantities. So I'll just write m here. Okay, so now you see that a is what? That is h dash into 0, where h dash is simply pi. So I'll write them again. I'll say a equals simply h dash a. So I'll be taking pi a, pi multiplied by a. B equals now b is what? That is pi times and b again divided by 2, because we are taking what? That is our again b, which is h dash by 2 I12. Next step is our c. So c equals pi times c divided by 4. then we have d, and d equals pi times d if pi d, and we have divided by 8 because we are dividing it by 8, so it is simply divided by 8, right? So we are done with these values now, and then I move towards this one. So I'll simply now calculate all these values. It will be asking about x. So for x it is 0, so I'll simply press 0. For y it is pi, because x is my a where y is my b, so I'll just give pi to it. Okay, and then we press equal. Then we have to introduce f in it. So f was taken as sine pi by 2, so I'll simply write whichever function is, you simply go for that and find this value. You can simply take pi, and then we have divided by 2. Okay, then we have e, where e is the sum of these two, so I'll take sine pi by 4 pi and then by 4 plus sine again, and then we have 3 pi by 4 and that's equal. Then it asks for m, where m is my these 4 terms, sum of these 4 terms, so I'll simply take sine. You can have e power x, you can have log of x, you can have cos x, you can have any function, so simply write the function here. So that's sine pi by 8 sine pi by 8 plus sine 3 pi by 8 then we have sine 5 pi by 8 sine 5 pi by 8 then we have sine 7 pi by 8. So we have already input the values. Okay, that's press equal. Now it will give you simply the value of a, which is pi by 2. Okay, we are not interested in that at the moment. We are interested in a. Press it again. So we have a now, b now, and so on. We are interested basically in these values, you see. So d is already found. Okay, so next what do? We have to go for, let's find the values now. A equals pi a, okay, I just made a mistake here. I should have taken this value to be sine 0 plus sine pi, which was 0. So let me change this value here directly 0, because otherwise I will make a mistake. Because a is 0, you see that. In fact, I just taken the formula a equals x plus y divided by 2. That should have been x sine x plus sine pi by 2. It should have been that. Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll be using 0 later on when I use these formulas. So my b will be pi b by 2. This is pi c by 4, and then we have pi d by 8. Okay, I'll just get rid of this thing now. just by using AC. I think I made mistake somewhere. I'm not exactly sure. Whether calculator is in radian or degree mode. Need to convert that into radian mode. You should do that first. So it's in radian now. If I go back to the formula, yeah, I can change these formulas as well from the beginning. If you have made any mistake, you can just change it from here. Yeah, as I said, it shouldn't not be like x plus y. It should be sine x and sine y, because we didn't apply a function x on it. So I'll just replace this one. I do it again, and then we have sine of y. It's up to you. You can simply call all these values to be x and this to be y. So you can simply say x equal to 0, y equal to 0 as well. The rest is okay, right? The rest is okay. Only difference was this one, so it's okay. I just go for calc again. So it asks for x. Now x is 0. My y was pi, so it's okay. You can just give it back. My f is what? I will simply take sine pi by 2, which is 1, which is already computed correctly. So I'm just, you can go for it again. You may take sine pi by 2. It's up to you. You do it again, or we have already that. So sine pi by 2, which is 1. So it's okay. Then it asks for e, where e is sum of these two. Okay, so I'll be just taking sine pi by 4 plus sine 3 pi by 4. Yeah, it usually happen. You would miss something if you are not practicing it. You should practice it, so it will be easy then. So that's okay. M is also okay. Simple add all these together. So you simply take sine, then we have pi by 8 it's pi divided by 8 plus it's sine 3 pi by 8. Then we have sin 3 pi by 8. You just close the bracket. 5 pi by 8. Pi divided by 8 plus, and we have sine 7 pi by 8. Pi by 8. Okay, let's close the bracket, and then you simply press equal. So now we have, you see, a equals 0, that's right, whereas b will be 1, then c is 1 plus under root 2, then we have d, but we are interested in this a. So a is pi, a will be 0, right? Keeping these, I just compare the values with these ones. If you see, if I'm getting these values correctly, so it's okay. I'm alright then. You see, it's 1.5708, right? The next time I see should be this one, 1.8961. okay, the next one should be this one, which is 1.9748. okay. Now I'm going towards these quantities, the second row, the second stage, the third stage, and the fourth stage. Okay, so I'm already done, so I'll just get rid of this. Now you must remember the formulas I've just explained earlier, which were these ones. So I'll be going for these. See, I'm calling this again A, B, C. So I'll be calling what? I'll be taking my A's back to be A equals, then I go for the fraction, and I'll be taking 4 times T12, where T12 is taken as T12 is B, so I'll be taking 4 times B minus A, then we have divided by 3. Then for the next value I'll just take as B equals and then fraction, we will be taking 4 times now C minus B, 4 times C minus B, and then we divide that by what? By 3. Then the next one is my C, so C will be again fraction, and we have 4 times D minus C, and then we have divided by 3. Okay, so I'll be getting the second column values if I'm done right. So I'll get these values. So you see, if I press equal, where did I make a mistake? Somewhere 4B minus C, 4C minus T. Where did I mistake? See, did I yeah, somewhere divided by 3. Okay, we need to go for calc first. Okay, so B is already there, this one is there, all values are given, we have found them, so they are already in the memory. So once I press it, so we'll get 2 by 3 pi, which is 2.0944, it's 2.09439, so it could be written as 2.0944. Again you press equal, you will get this value, which is 2.0046, and you can press it again to get this value, 2.0003. right? To go to the next stage, we'll be only going back to these values. Again, I'll just replace the coefficients now. I'll be having 4, instead of 4 I'll be taking 16 now, because in the formula we have 16. So I'll just write 4 into 4, where in the denominator I'll simply take 5 into 3. Okay, the next one is B. I'll be taking again 4 into 4. Okay, and the denominator I'll be simply taking 5 into 3. Whereas the next one is, you can write directly as 16 into something. So 4 into 4, and in the denominator I'll just take 5 into 3. Okay, so we change the formula. So I'll go back to calc. Okay, it will ask for the values, but these values are already here. So see that 2.0046 and so on. So I just press equal, C, D. We don't care about that. I'm only interested now in A. So my A is what? 1.9986, and I'm interested in B as well, which is 1.999, which can be written as taken as 2. And for the next step, what I do, I just get rid of this and I go back to the formula, and I won't do all them. I may go for only one value, and I'll be replacing this one with now 64. So I just multiply 4 again, and in the denominator I'll just make it 63. So I'll simply add 6 here. You don't need to go for the other points because we are not interested, we're only interested in A now. So I just go to calc, and then I press equal. I'm having A to be 1.9986, whereas my B is 2. So I just press equal. We don't care about the values of B, C, D. So it's simply A, which is almost 2.0000555. So you see that after third stage we are getting what? 2.000, which is exactly the same what we had here, right? So I hope it's simple, it's straightforward. You can do this by many ways if you learn how to use calculator for Romberg integration. There are many ways to do it. You could simple introduce the values instead of sin x or cos x or e power x. You can find the values first and then simple put the values there for a, b, c, d and so on. Okay, I hope it's clear to everybody. We have done this correctly. You can solve any example by using this method, right? And I think it's okay now. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you understood that, and see you in next video.